Hey guys, welcome back to Minecraft the End. This is chapter 3. It is titled Can. Starts on page 30 and goes to page 40. If you guys haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos of Minecraft stories. And I hope that you guys enjoy, and if you do, hit that like button. Here we go, chapter 3. Wake up, I hate you. Grumpo's thoughts blinked on and often fins in Mo's head like an alarm clock. Wake up! I hate you. Finn stretched. Enderman sleep standing up. Beds didn't really work in the end. If you made something to lie down on, it usually exploded. Endermen didn't need much sleep anyway. They were like cats. They just napped wherever they were. Wake up, I hate you. Someone is approaching the ship. I hate them. Make them leave. It's time for you to make them leave now. I hate them so much. It's happening again. Make it stop happening. Mo grabbed one of the enchanted iron swords off the sword pile and poked her head up and out of the hold. You couldn't be too careful. Humans didn't just live in the overworld. Every once in a while, one would show up here, or so they'd been told. It hadn't actually happened yet, but sooner or later, it was inevitable. And when they saw ships particularly groaning with treasure, humans tended to go a little crazy. And they started out crazy as far as Mo was concerned. She scanned the horizon. Telos loomed there, and rods aglow, and banners flying. The night beyond was calm and deep. It always was. She didn't see anyone. Are you sure, Grumpo? Cutie baby Grumpo. Hate, hissed the shulker down below. Want to bite? Okay, okay. Mo stuck her head out again. Anybody there? She thought on a broad frequency that anyone should have been able to hear. Here, human, human, human! I am no human friend of mine, but I can steal your belongings if you are in the mood for human today. The thought opened up in their mind. Mo recognized the thinker immediately, their only friend in the end. Hello, Can? Grumpo growled in his box. See, he's happening again. I hate him. I hate how he happens. It's disgusting. He comes around all the time and he does not live here, and I hate him. Make him leave. Make him not happen. A young Enderman appeared on the deck of the grayish purple ship. He raised one long arm to say hello. In the other, he clutched a brown checkered note block. Their friend's most prized possession. Can was longer and thinner than Finn, but because he was always so shy, he seemed smaller than both the twins. He had big, beautiful eyes, but he was always squinting, trying to hide them, trying to make them unnoticeable. Because Khan's eyes weren't like the wide, clear magenta violet eyes of the other Endermen. Khan's eyes were green. No one knew why. No one could remember any other Enderman who had green eyes. Not in all the history of the end. It bothered people. Sometimes it bothered them a lot. Nobody in Telos looked Can in the eye if he could help it. Finn and Mo had never minded. Some people are just born different. That was all. Some people were orphans. Some people had green eyes. Mo thought they were amazing. Nothing else in the end was exactly that color. Can's eyes were green, like the grass in the overworld, green like emeralds, green like the leaves of a tree in the sun. Can raised his dark hands to greet her. I have run away again, the green-eyed Enderman announced triumphantly. My humblets attempted to retrieve me, but they could not. I am faster. Taskmaster Awari attempted to drag me back, but she could not. I am stronger. So their training has worked, but not as they hoped. They are all the worst. Every time I think I can bear it, they prove me wrong. May I hide here with you? You're always welcome, Mo thought. Come in, come in. That is the opposite of what I said, wailed Grumpo. And there was the gang. They'd always been like this, Finn and Mo and Can. Morning, noon, and night, inseparable. the best of friends. Not that Can's humbunts approved much of that. Not that anyone approved much of that. Finn and Mo lived on the outskirts of Telos. They lived on the outskirts of everything. They had no end. To everyone else, all these things made them dangerous. To Can, it made them exciting. Your end was everything, so Finn and Mo should have been nothing. But they weren't nothing. They weren't nothing at all. What made an Enderman was the end they belonged to, the end that belonged to them. And that was why no one in Telos seemed to know what to do about Finn and Mo living off of their own in a ramshackle old ship after their humbents failed to return from the overworld. Most people thought them frightfully stupid. How could they be anything else when their end consisted of nothing more than two Endermen and a shulker? That wasn't an end. That was just a load of junk. So mostly, the other Endermen left the twins alone. They had trouble only when they tried to go into the city. But Can knew a secret about the twins. They weren't stupid at all. They were much smarter, much better company than the Ender frags at the Ender Dome, or the awful taskmaster of any of the hubs and nubs and fragments Can had ever met. Maybe it was a twin thing. Can didn't know any other twins. Maybe they were all like that. Maybe it was like his green eyes, just some freak of nature. But somehow, just the two of them were enough. Even though a two stack was usually just barely enough to count to 10 between them, three were the minimum for a decent conversation. Except that Finn and Mo stacked, without any help from anyone, and all three of them were positively plenty. Can was part of an end, all right, just like the other Ender frags, but they never seemed to be much a part of him. He was forever running away from home. This was the third time that week. Can hated the way he felt when he ran away. He hated the way he felt all the way up until he got to the ship, mean and dumb and angry and hurt, barely able to remember where he was running to or why. But all he had to do was step on board the ship, and the cool cascade of ender stacking started up. He could feel himself getting beautifully calm and clever because he was home, not with his end, but with his friends. Mo had never met any other Enderman who'd run away from home even once, but Can did it every 3 or 4 days. Not that Mo judged her thin, dark friend. She understood, at least she thought she did. Mo would have hated it if she was stuck in some sour, crappy club full of people who scowled at her all the time and told her what to do, what to be. She would have to run away too, and she didn't think anyone should be punished for running away. It was all part of the great chaos. Staying somewhere you hated because the rules said you had to was giving into the forces of order. Mo led her friend down into the hold. Finn was frying chorus fruits in an iron chest plate over the torch flames. You can make a weird kind of sour purple popcorn that way. They never found a way to eat it safely, but it was pretty fun to watch the kernels pop. Every once in a while, Grandpa would eat a handful if you sprinkled it into his box like fresh food. Thanks, he'd say. I hate it. I want to bite you. But he always ate it all up anyway, and refused to tell them how he managed to digest the stuff. Finn waved one long blackened hand at them, stuck inside the enchanted iron gauntlet that they used as a cooking mitt. The fruits popped cheerfully. Pop, pop, crack. Can inhaled the aroma of the chorus corn deeply. It smelled horrific, but it smelled like home. I like your house so much better than mine, he thought sadly. I wish I could live here with you. No room, Finn thought back jokingly, but the thought that he did not allow to float between their minds was, That would be great, but your humbents would literally actually kill us. They'd sweep through the ship like a shadow made of knives, and we'd never make gross, inedible popcorn again. Ken settled into a corner of the ship's guts between a block of emerald and a pair of old boots. He put his note block between his legs. For a while, he just lay his head on top of it. He didn't think anything, at least not out loud. Endermen could hide their thoughts if they really wanted to. It was just considered incredibly aggressively rude. Can didn't cry. Endermen couldn't, not really. But in their minds, Finn and Mo could see an image of the little white sparkles that fell from the end rods on the tips of the towers and of Telos, falling all the way to the ground. They understood what that meant, the same way any humans know what water falling from another human's eyes means. Finally, Cam began to tap the brown thatch of his note block. Finn sighed eagerly and sat down with his long legs crossed. Mo leaned forward to her to hear better. No one can play a note block like Can. Sure, the twins found them every now and again, mostly when a human failed to kill the Ender Dragon, as they always did, and dropped one of them one when they got what was coming to them. But when Finn and Mo tried to play it, all they got were short, sharp sounds that they could never fit together into a song. When Can played, even the sky stopped to listen. His hands moved over the top of the block and music poured out. It filled the ship's hold and spilled onto the deck. The song was sad and bright and angry and hopeful all at the same time, but it was quick and light too. It couldn't help you couldn't help but tap your feet to it. It made you want to dance, and it made you want to hug your friends, and it made you want to run out and conquer the world, or at least conquer anyone who tried to tell you what to do. Grumpo's box top rose up slightly. His yellow-green nub of a head peeked through the crack. Can stop playing. Let me guess, he thought at the shulker. You hate it. After a long pause, the shulker answered, I don't hate it. A gasp rose from all the Endermen. They couldn't believe it. Of course, Can was good. The best. Grumpo hated everything. But Grumpo hated everything. Can often thought the shulker was like his Hunbits that way. I just strongly dislike it. The shulker snapped back and slammed his box shut. Can turned his friendly rectangular head back into his friend's. He had always been the handsomest Enderman in the end, Mo thought. So, Finn thought so. But whenever the three of them went to Telos and passed others on the long violet streets, they always heard the grown-ups thinking about how ugly and awkward Can was, how horrible his eyes were, how stupid and weird and even hideous he was. It made Mo so angry. Can was beautiful. Why couldn't they see it? If only the whole of Telos could hear him play. But hearing him play never seemed to help Can's family like him any better. It was playing that song this morning. My secondary Hunbit heard me. He was so furious. He is right. He has told me time and time again to give up my block. Stop it. He screamed. Stop that horrific racket. Music is one of the chief servants of order. How dare you bring it into this house? I cannot stand one more note. Be who you were meant to be. Be one of us. Go to the overworld. Hunt humans. Serve chaos like your fellow Enderfrags. Eat, fight, and be merry. Why must you mope and sing all the time? You are not a sad parrot. And then he tried to break my block. I'm sorry, thought Finn. I wonder if our Hummets would have been like that. But then, if I try to get away, if I try to save my block, it only gets worse. Without me, my primary and secondary Humbents, their Humbents and Numbits, their other Enderfrags, and all the rest of them are weaker and dimmer. They roar and chase after me and try to get me back into their end, even though I do not want to be in their end at all. I do not want to go to the overworld. I do not care about one bit about the overworld. It's bright and horrible there. I do not want to be a warrior. I do not care about great chaos. Mo gasped. That was blasphemy. Real, serious blasphemy. If a grown up heard them thinking like that. I do not want to be an Enderman at all if all it means is hunting humans and fighting battles and breaking things. I just want to play music. I like this familial group. Can and Finn and Mo and Grumpo and the ship. This is my end. They do not understand me. They never will understand me. We like this end too, thought Finn. They were all quiet for a while. How long before they come to get you? Mo thought delicately. Ken wouldn't want to talk about it, but whenever his humpets came to pick him up, he tended to do quite a bit of damage to the ship. I do not know. Ken's thoughts were so quiet. They were like whispers. I wish I did not have humpets. Don't say that, Finn thought fiercely. No, you don't. Though Mo at the same time. Now, Can's thoughts were so quiet he could barely see them. They flickered in the twins' heads like candles about to go out. Then I only wish I had not been born different. I wish I liked to fight and break things like everyone else. I wish I had never heard music in the first place. I just want to be normal. Why did the great chaos make me this way? I think you're wonderful this way, Mo thought. Grandpa's box clapped open suddenly, then shut again, then open, then shut and open, and shut and open, and shut again. But faster and louder. Someone is approaching the ship, the shulkers screeched into their skulls. Someone is approaching the ship. Someone big. Hate, 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 hate! I will bite them. I will. Let me bite them. You will not be sorry. Everything will be better if I bite them. Trust Grumpo. Good boy, Grumpo. Finn and Mo turned toward the door into the hold. The terrible thoughts of Can's secondary humpet, Carson, appeared in their minds like flashing lights and sirens. Can, where are you located in the void? Full of rage, full of pride, full of that strange way of talking grown-ups like so much. There were enough of them here that Karst could summon the intelligence to speak as he pleased. Can, I will discover you. I will go. Can thought glumly. He tucked his note block under his skinny dark arm. I do not want any of your treasure to get ruined like last time. The behavior of my humbits humiliates me. I am sorry. Comp, you are more foolish than you appear. Uncover yourself to your humbit. We do not possess any excess of time in which you play your frivolous games. Uncover yourself. Events commence. Terrible events. One Enderman alone may not be as clever, as strong as many Endermen together, but one Enderman alone is still plenty strong. They could hear him thrashing around the upper deck. They heard the slats of the ladder on one side of the mast crack under his fist. I will go, Ken said again, but he didn't get up. What's he talking about? Mo thought swiftly. What terrible events? I do not know. Nothing was afoot when I left. All was silence, except for the usual yelling session concerning how much all sensible people hate music. Can! It is the day of fragmentation, Can thought gloomily. They do not even remember. Endermen were not born the way humans were. The little Enderfrags just replicated off the primary humbit, a tiny black sprite blinking away from a big block. They looked almost like small black eggs, no pain or drama or cuddles, in its mother's arms. A newborn Enderman was just part of the primary Hunbit one moment, and off on its own the next. But they did not celebrate their day of fragmentation. All the same, usually. Now they could hear the thoughts of Can's primary Hunbit, Teg, even louder than Carson's. Her heavy feet crunched onto the ship. They're going to wreck the place, Finn worried. Can, you must reveal yourself to your creators. Farewell, my friends, waved Can as he trudged up the steps toward his family. I will see you again someday, I hope. It'll be okay, Mo thought after him. Will it, though? Ender swear, Finn assured him. Ender swear, Mo agreed. Can nodded. His face looked so pretty in the soft light of the end. Okay, I believe you. Can you have appeared as if by magic? The huge Endermen outside blared their thoughts everywhere, with very little care for who heard them. They must really have been worried. Usually Endermen were much more careful to keep their thoughts tight and directed, like a flashlight's beam that landed only where they wanted it to. How did you find me so swiftly? Can thought dryly. You always come here. Can's primary Humbit thought, returning to a normal volume. Why will we look in an alternative location? But his secondary Humbit was still screaming at the top of his mind. You must return to the home node immediately. Fragment. There is no time to expend in discussing your failures. Why? Why was it at home? More yelling. Can's thoughts were white hot with resentment. The primary Humbit crouched on her black knees. The lights of Telos beyond her enormous head gave her a strange yellowish halo. She looked deep into her fragment's strange, terrible green eyes. She even touched his head just a little, almost as if he cared, as if she cared. And now, even though Finn and Mo and even Grumpo could still hear her thoughts, she sent her words quietly. Can, fragment of mine, you must come home and prepare. It is imperative. We must defend ourselves. The humans are coming. That wraps up chapter 3. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button and stay tuned for chapter 4. I will see you guys next time.